I decided as long as I'm going to be stuck home, I'm going to get in better shape. So I built a Bodyweight Gym. But before we get to that, it's time for a make or break. Hey guys, welcome back to Make or Break, where we share our favorite maker videos of the week, and then we challenge ourselves to build our own. I'm Rob, and my co-host Sarah is unfortunately still working from home. I just finished my biggest project yet. But first, let's take a look at our favorite maker videos of the week. Laura Kampf has been a favorite of ours for a long time. Her videos have this really awesome laid-back feel and typically skip narration in favor of creatively spaced signs that help fill you in on the action. Now this week she built a dining table with a clever insert that converts it into an office desk for a stand for her tablet. Honestly, even if you don't need one, it's just fun to watch her build. You can find her at Laura Kampf on YouTube. I've never done any restoration projects before, maybe because when I see something like this, I don't think, hey, I should restore that, so much as, hey, how'd that get out of the trash? Fortunately, Ticey Restoration found it and saw the potential I couldn't. After restoring the hardware to its original finish, he filled the missing body space with resin. The result was amazing. You can watch the whole thing at Ticey Restoration. Christiana from Get Hands Dirty needed a place to put her dirty laundry and found some space above the bathroom door. Using nothing but thin plywood in her X-carve, she built these awesome laundry baskets that mount to the wall. She's quick to point out that if you don't have a CNC machine of your own, you could also create a simpler pattern using small circles and just drill it. You can check it out for yourself at Get Hands Dirty. So power carving, that's another technique that we've yet to try. We've got the grinders, and apparently all we need are a few carving wheels and a cool idea. This week, the Awesome Orange had both. Sadie Mae wanted a bread bowl, so she glued two different pieces of hardwood together, giving her a 4-inch thick block to work with. From there, she tried out her new saber-tooth burrs and slowly removed everything that didn't look like a bread bowl. The results were beautiful, but holy cow, this technique makes some serious sawdust. Her poor truck. After adding some texture and then sanding, she ended up with a really unique piece. You can see it at the Awesome Orange. Finally, Ben over at Woby Design showed us what we can do with our thousands of leftover skateboards. Wait, you don't have thousands of skateboards lying around? That's odd. Ben does, and he shared this really amazing technique to laminate the old decks together using Total Boat epoxy, and then mills them down into some of the most unique lumber I've ever seen. From there, he turns them into all kinds of things like hammers, bats, donut clocks, and even, yep, skateboards. All right, each week we like to meet a maker who can inspire us to try new things. This week, Char, also known as the Wooden Maven, sent us this video of her ingenious workbench.
Hey Rob, thanks so much for having me on this week's episode. I'm so happy to be here with you and Sarah and share with everybody my ultimate mobile workbench.
Hey, thanks so much for sharing with us, Char. Now I need a workbench I can take out into the sun. You can find her work and follow her at Maven, both on YouTube and Instagram. Okay, on to this week's project. Now, I'm tired of being stuck at home, and yeah, I realize I'm the only one and you can't relate, so just bear with me. I think that some regular running and weight training would help. I do have space to run, but no weights. So, for fun, I built a bodyweight gym. And this is the gym I built. I simply followed a plan posted on Instagram by a guy named Simon, and I'll link to it below. It only took a couple hours, then I posted it to Instagram and immediately started getting compliments and requests for plans. That wasn't until a guy named David Andrew Brent reached out to me to tell me what a terrible design it was. Yup, this guy. As it turns out, he's a stand-up comic and a framer, which is apparently very common on the job site, so he knows what he's talking about. He was nice enough to walk me through some improvements and help me with the design of my own. All I had to do after that was build it. I started off by cutting all the pieces to length. I went out of my way to buy the expensive 2x4s this time, expecting some deluxe quality. What I got was less than that, but we'll get to that later. I specifically designed the new gym to keep the number of different cuts to a minimum. Then, to keep things consistent, I used a stop block that I would either clamp down or screw in place each time. I ended up with 27 pieces. After that, I did some quick sanding to clean up the ends. I really love the Hart 10-inch miter saw. It's done a super great job, but I really need to get a finishing blade for that thing. 4 of the pieces have a 45-degree miter on the end for aesthetic purposes, so I cut that next. I added 2 vertical pieces that will work as a multi-stage rack for assisted and modified push-ups. To do that, I marked off 4 spots 6 inches apart and drilled out a 1.5-inch hole. Then I used a jigsaw to cut out the slot. This will all make more sense when you see the final build. Then it was time to start the assembly. With the first version, it had to be built in the room where I'll use it, which is carpeted and not level, which was really frustrating. So in my design, the base is a self-contained frame I could build in the shop on my level workbench. I used pocket screws whenever I could, which worked really well. To make sure this thing would be stable, I added the second feet mounted perpendicular to the lower rails. I attached them first to use as my guide later when I attached the verticals. I again used pocket screws and some scrap to make sure I was attaching it in the right place. Once I got the base together, I moved on to the sides. I first drilled slots for the iron bars to rest in. To do this, I used a 1.5-inch hole saw. I found the slower I went, the better my cut was. By placing the matching pieces together and drilling between them, I got 2 perfectly aligned half circles. Then I assembled the 2 side towers using additional vertical braces for the midrail. Once assembled with pocket holes, screw, and glue, it was ready to bring it all upstairs to assemble it in our other studio where it will live. Once I got all the pieces upstairs, I attached both side towers to the base, then screwed in the spacers for support, and finally attached the push-up rack along the front edges. These last 4 pieces were to add additional support to the top rail and add a bit more structural rigidity so I wouldn't need to use the corner braces found on the original design. And that's it! For less than $100, I have a small gym that allows me to do pull-ups, chin-ups, dips, modified push-ups, and once I add some resistant bands and rings, even more. It looks pretty good. Works even better, but now the real work begins. All right, so the final bill was just $80, and that's only because I bought the expensive 2x4s, which turned out to be only okay. Unless you really need this to be pretty, I bet you could do this for around $50 if you're really thrifty. I built this gym because I want to use the time in lockdown to work on my own health. I have a long way to go yet, but I know I'm on my way. There's an amazing bodyweight fitness subreddit that I'll link to in the description below. They've got a fantastic workout plan that I'll be following. I'll let you know how the gym holds up as I use it. If you'd like to build one of your own, I'm going to provide a link to the SketchUp file so you can grab dimensions, make changes if you'd like, and organize your cut list. Be sure to send me a photo if you do it. All right, that's it for this week. I had a ton of fun building the gym, and I want to thank Hart for supporting us and helping me do it with Hart. This week, I'm going to be building my very first raised garden. No clue how that's going to turn out. All right, break's over. Let's make something.